Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today and Tarot. My name is Mel Rose. This is the Tarot portion and the second half of my daily astrology vlog, which you can check out on my other channel, Astrology Today with Mel Rose. Over there, you'll find a description of the day's astrology as I have spelled it out here. Here, I'll discuss the tarot card that sits on the side of the page, and then I'll play another card that, in the context of today's astrology, may just give us something more to think about. So, let's get into it. Card that currently sits on the side of the page is a new one, friends. It's the Eight of Cups, and it is here because it corresponds in astrology with the first 10 days or the first decan of the sun's transit here in the land of Pisces. Now, Pisces is a water sign. Cups in tarot represent water element symbolism. Water element symbolism is very much about our emotional life, our relationships, what we love, what our intuition tells us, our habits, how things feel to us, okay? So, with that said, here's the Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Cups we see, well, I love that the moon is here, and the moon is making kind of a frowny face, but you can't see the face of the person at all, right? So this talks to us a little bit about how something feels to us. And then we have these 8 cups just sort of stacked up here, and this person appears to be walking away, right? So this is a card about walking away, from perhaps a situation that has left us feeling disillusioned. We just feel like we need to leave it behind. Either there was a loss or there was a disappointment. Sometimes we make a lot of emotional investment in something, and when we sort of stack it up, we realize that it's not as satisfying it's not as satisfying as we would like it to be for what we invested in it, right? And understanding that it's a loss and that we can feel that loss, we're going to go ahead and choose to leave the situation behind. We just feel like there's nothing more we can do here, so we're going to move on. We're abandoning something, we're leaving it behind. And with that, we can feel a certain sense of loss, as though, we invested something of ourselves and we won't get it back. So, yeah, that's that Eight of Cups. It's sort of a sad feeling. But it's a feeling where sort of we have chosen to reject something and not the other way around. So, more like we created a situation, we just decided it's not going to work for us. We're gonna keep trying we're gonna go try something else somewhere else. How's that sound? Okay, and with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this card over. Oh, looky, we got the Fool today. I love that. I love that. Okay, so this is the Ethereal Visions Tarot deck, the Luna edition, and I love these designs. I'm a big fan of Art Nouveau, which is why I went ahead and got this deck. And you see the sort of holographic foil there. It's so shiny, right? So I love the Fool. The Fool is, I don't know if you can see this here, a complete zero, okay? Of all the numbered cards in the tarot, and almost all the cards have a number of some kind, only the Fool is a 0. So what does that mean? It really just means that we're making a fresh start in a direction that we don't know. It really pairs well, I think, with that Eight of Cups, actually, because, it's not to say that the Fool has no experience at anything, but that they go into there's a part of our lives, or there's some, maybe it's us or someone in our lives is making a completely fresh start. And it can be a little bit, of a feeling like somebody watch that baby, right? Like we're worried about that person because they seem to trip too lightly into the new adventure, not knowing what it is that they're going to experience or encounter, and they're sort of teetering on the edge of a cliff here, right? They've got their trusty dog at their side, and they're just ready to go. There's a white flower here, and the white flower to me represents a sort of innocence of heart, right? Just a real willingness, even in light of the fact that we know that we don't know, and we don't even know what it is that we don't know yet, right? So this is an adventurous card. You see this person is really just ready to make of their experience whatever they will. They don't know what the experience is going to be like at all. The dog there sort of represents a person's inner guidance or intuition, what our sort of animal self would say, what our instinct. Listen to your instincts, right? Listen to your inner guidance. Pay attention to the warnings that come up from your intuition. Pay attention also to the blessings that are shown to you through your intuition as you begin your journey. Just try to be careful, even though it's clear that you just want to have fun in this situation, right? You just sometimes, and this is coming from the point of view of an Aries, which, Aries is very often the Fool. Sometimes we like to just make a fresh start and not really know what the full outcome is going to be. Sometimes we like to go into things without very much of a plan and just sort of allow the day to unfold, allow the circumstance to unfold. You get an opportunity, or you even just perceive an opportunity, and you just step in that direction and think, this could be fun, let's try it out. So there's nothing wrong with doing that. And we come to many points in our lives where we've come back to zero. We come to many points in our lives where one part of our journey has come to an end, and so here we are again at the beginning, and we have to be sort of brave, and we have to be careful, but not so careful that we don't have a new experience, right? And we just have to be sort of willing to dive in and enjoy the process of having an experience unfold for us. So where do we see the Fool on the page? Well, that's interesting to me. The first thing that jumps out is that the sun just dove into Pisces yesterday afternoon. Today is the sun's first full day in the land of Pisces. And the sun is reminding me of the Fool, because it's a big zero, right? There's sunshine in the Fool card. But also, just because it's really about your personal individual experience of life outside your door. Okay. So, when you've grown tired of, or when you've heeded the call to adventure for one reason or another, whether you've grown tired of the same old way of doing things, or some opportunity has come up that's inviting you to try something different or new. When you get that call to adventure and you heed it in a really positive way, then you can have a very positive experience with the adventure. Whereas, if you get the call to adventure and you have to be dragged into it, then you might not have as good an experience, right? So here's the sun heeding the call to adventure, diving on into Pisces. Pisces is the end of the zodiac year. Okay, it begins with the beginning of Aries and it goes all the way down through Pisces. So those are the bookends, back to back with each other. And so Pisces is a time, for our outer life, especially work, social, and civic, how we engage in the world outside our doors. This is a time when we can be a little adventurous, have a little bit of imagination about what we mean to do, or just really be open to an experience, a new set of connections to be made. Pisces is ruled by Jupiter and Neptune, so it's all about expanding your experience, like being ready to dive in for the sake of having those bigger, better things that you desire for yourself, and also just expanding your experience for the sake of creativity, for creating something beautiful and new, for creating something that is a life that you feel is worth celebrating. So welcome to the Pisces transit 2023. We'll be here through about March 20th or 21st this year. And it's a really positive thing to be here. We're really, we spent a couple of months here kind of working pretty hard, really assessing things the way they're going in our lives, and what sort of systems we'd like to put in place in the future. And now we've come to this point where we can really just sort of relax, reflect, play, have fun, enjoy our connections to one another, enjoy our sense of connection to spirit and to the world in general, just sort of pull the whole world into the loving embrace of our hearts, and yes, and set out on an adventure, whether that be a physical adventure where you go to a place and do a thing, or an adventure of the heart or the mind. Absolutely, that counts as well. And so I'm going to put that together with this Eight of Cups here. What do we have? We have the Fool and the Eight of Cups. Well, I mean, I think, like I said, I think that fits very well, because if you're in an Eight of Cups mode, clearly you're feeling this disappointment. You see that full moon just sort of looking down in a sad sort of way, like this is not this is not it, right? Look, I made all of these emotional investments. I stacked them up, and they don't even make a good tower. It's not satisfying me the way I wanted it to satisfy me. And not even really interested in trying to salvage any of this investment. I'm just going to move on and do something different. And I may not even know what it is that I plan to do. Okay, this is an emotional loss, so we're feeling it. We're feeling that sense of loss. We're feeling that sense of dissatisfaction. And we're feeling that desire just to move on and try something different. Don't know what. Doesn't have to be anything specific. Just, becoming the Fool, starting over again, putting everything that I know or think I know behind me, and sort of diving into the world of the unknown, the things I know that I don't know, and the things I don't know that I don't know, right? So that I can have another adventure and hopefully find more satisfaction in that. In that new way of doing things. So if this is you, if you're in I said relationship, but I didn't mean to, but since that came out of my mouth, if you're in any kind of relationships that are unsatisfactory to you, and I'm not just talking about your love relationships, okay? But listen, Venus is sextile to Pluto right now through the 24th. And so, our relationships are in sort of a testing ground. That sextile vibe is very positive. It helps us work together. It helps us cooperate with one another. But Pluto takes us to the depths, right? And Venus is about what and who we like, love, and can't get enough of. So, we can find ourselves in a situation where we're growing more deeply attached to somebody that we were already attached to, or we can find ourselves in a situation where we begin a relationship at this time that totally transforms the way we relate to people. In either way, our mode of relating is sort of on the block for transformation at this time. And so if we've been trying to relate in one way and it wasn't working, whether it was with a friend, a loved one, a person at work, because I'm talking about the outer life mostly here, okay? It's okay to sort of set your efforts behind you, set your investment in that situation behind you, and say, okay, that's enough. I did what I could. I'm not interested in trying to make anything more out of it. I'm not trying to, I'm not seeking any satisfaction out of this situation where I don't think I'm going to find any. I'm just going to move the heck on, and I'm going to try something new and different. Yeah. I think it's a beautiful vibe, actually. But then again, like I said, I'm always up for an exciting fresh start. Hopefully some of you are too. Venus also moves into Aries tonight. So, we start off in more of a wide open, curious hearted space. And then we move on to Aries, and then we're like, okay, no, I'm very clear about what I want right now, and I'm just going to be really forthright about going to get it. So that's also written in these cards as well. Just sort of, whatever hasn't been emotionally satisfying for me, I'm just going to make a fresh start. Aries is all about the fresh starts, right? And always about that bold, sort of courageous pursuit of what is good for us, whatever seems like it would be good for us. Okay, I think that's all I have to say about it today, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate your presence here. My name is Mel Rose, and I'll see you all back here tomorrow for more Astrology Today and Tarot.